Discussion?
I just want to, I'm supportive of the motion, but that essentially right there, ladies and gentlemen, is all we have in front of us. So I'll be curious when February shows up, what it actually says. I'm hearing different things from different members of the board. I've heard different things from speakers. But so I'll be curious when it does arrive back for this, for the board to review and vote on. I'll be curious at that point in time. So my support today is to get a report back, something a little bit more detailed than what's right there. And so I'll look forward to when it comes back in 2016.
Thank you. If there are no more comments, can we have the roll, please?
Irma Archuleta?
Aye.
Virginia Baxter?
Aye.
Jeff Kellogg?
Aye.
Doug Otto?
Aye.
Sunny Zia?
Absolutely.
So the motion carries unanimously, and we are on to our agenda item 3.1, Student Success, Learning, and Academic Resources. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
And before we go into the presentation that we're going to get about learning and academic resources, I wanted to remind the audience that what we're doing as a board is elevating student success to something that we do at every single board meeting. It's something that we've decided in an action plan that we needed to do in order to have us better understand the concepts of student success and how it works out on a daily basis on our campuses. And so this is the beginning. We had a report last time, and we are going to continue that at every meeting. In fact, there's a meeting scheduled next week to work out the details of how we're going to present this at each of the meetings over the course of the next year. So we're looking forward to that. And without further ado, can we have the presentation on learning and academic resources?
Thank you, Board President Otto. I'm going to turn this over to Vice President Long in a second. I just want to reiterate that the campus is doing a lot of work around student success. The priority is our students. The priority is investing in student success in all aspects. And so we're proud to have this presentation today. And for that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Long.
Thank you, President Oakley. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Karen Rothstein, Associate Dean of Library and Learning Resources, who will introduce our presenter. Karen.
Thank you for the opportunity to present this evening. I have the honor of working with the Learning and Academic Resources Department. And this is a department that really embodies the collaboration and innovation that we so highly value here at Long Beach City College. So it's my pleasure to introduce Emily Barrera, the department head of Learning and Academic Resources.
Good afternoon, Board President Doug Otto, Superintendent President Eloy Oakley, and members of the board. My name is Emily Barrera, Department Chair of Learning and Academic Resources, and I'm here to present today a few of the innovations and updates coming out of the Learning and Academic Resources Department. Through the services and courses offered in our department, we like to focus on the student as a whole. In addition to our longtime focus on cognitive or hard skills, including contextualized reading, writing, and math and study skills, in the past few years, we've expanded our focus into non-cognitive or affective skills. Examples of this mean focusing on confidence, motivation, attitude, and persistence. We have done this through encompassing this in our courses and through all our direct contact with students. The department has seen positive results in focusing on the whole student to truly engender student success. As the primary academic support department on campus, we help students via a variety of services and programs. The first three listed I will go into a bit more detail about, but in addition to our supplemental instruction and tutoring, basic adult education, and study skills videos, we have curriculum we offer to students. Learn 11 is our 3-unit comprehensive study and learning skills course. This course was recently approved for GE credit on Plan B, meaning it helps students who transfer to CSUs. and it covers a variety of study skills that assist students' success in all of their courses. A newer addition in the courses in our department is Learn 811. This is a one-unit introduction to study skills course that we are marketing and delivering to CTE and certificate-seeking students. Another facet of our department is our supplemental learning assistance. This is contextualized learning assistance we offer to students in a large variety of disciplines, from anatomy and art history to nursing and sociology. Lastly, I wanted to highlight the Summer Bridge program. This past summer, we coordinated and delivered a 4-week program to help incoming freshmen understand their role in college and successfully transition from college to LBCC. The department coordinated and delivered this program with outreach, library, reading, and counseling. One of the programs I wanted to highlight tonight was the Supplemental Instruction, or SI program. This program includes peer-led group study sessions for students enrolled in historically difficult courses. The study groups focus both on course material and study skills. It has been a successful program, but due to its configuration and limits in funding, the department has never been able to offer it to the number of students and faculty requesting this service. Luckily, that has changed this semester. Our department received an equity grant, and through this grant, we are piloting new and innovative ways of delivering SI to more students to address the equity gaps. As you can see by the data here, last fall, we were only able to offer SI at PCC to one section of classes, and this fall, we increased that to 32. The second set of data is overall for both campuses. We've increased our SI offering through our innovative way of offering it from 17 to 200 sections. So we're working hard to close the equity gaps. Preliminary results show that students attending SI are scoring higher on their test. However, we will run additional analysis at the end of the semester. Another exciting innovation to come out of our department is the Basic Adult Education Pathway. Under the Adult Education Block Grant, known as AB 86 or AB 104, we are working with the Adult Education Consortium to redesign adult education for today's students. Through this streamlined pathway, we can more efficiently serve adult students from the college and the greater community in reaching their academic and workforce preparation goals. We are achieving this through innovating through a model that is flexible, self-paced, open entry, open exit, and allows students to more quickly progress through the basic skills sequence and reach their goals, be it GED, workforce readiness, CTE certificates, or transferring into credit courses here at the college. The need for this type of program is great. Of the over 500,000 Long Beach residents, almost 20% of adults over the age of 25 lack a high school diploma, and almost 30% live below the poverty line. The department is working hard to revamp this program for its launch in fall 2016. The last program I wanted to highlight tonight is our Study Skills video series. This service allows students anywhere from any time to gain useful study tips that they can apply to their academic success. And faculty across the campus use their videos or the videos in class or assigned to their students. And we have a short video to share about this.
We have an amazing phenomenon at LBCC in the Learning and Academic Resources Department. There's a faculty member who's also an internet star. It is YouTube sensation and study skills instructor, Scott Bruckner. Scott began teaching study skills workshops in person in the early 90s through the LAR department's course offerings. During that time, over 20,000 students attended nearly 1,600 of the workshops and gained useful study tips and learning strategies for their academic success. His last face-to-face workshop was held in the fall of 2012. Since then, Scott revamped the workshop content and asked Instructional Media Production Services to create the 14 Study Skills video series you now see on the college's YouTube EDU channel, which can be accessed on the left side of the LBCC homepage. The series covers a variety of study skills topics. The 3 workshops with the most hits are Improving Your Listening Skills, How to Remember for Tests, and Memory Tricks. On the LAR department webpage, there are handouts for students to work alongside the video. This unique addition, different from other colleges, provides students the option for an increased interactive learning experience. The videos have been accessed by many LBCC students due to their practical presentation of helpful study tips in an engaging manner. LBCC instructors across the disciplines assign them to their students for academic support. This is but one facet of the many courses and services the LAR department offers to students at LBCC, like tutoring, the Computer Center, and contextualized learning assistance. It is reflective of the department's commitment and innovative approach to academic support. In collaboration with the LBCC instructional media producers, the release of this video series has now amassed millions of views. In addition to the support and feedback Scott has received on campus, he has received emails from students and teachers from 22 states and 42 countries thanking him for his work. At 1 million YouTube hits, Scott was featured in the Press Telegram. But the most recent development is that the series has surpassed 3 million views as of September 30th, 2015. Students from near and far have left comments on YouTube commending Scott on sharing vital information that has increased their success as students. Neither Scott nor the department had any idea of the local and global impact this would have. He was just doing what he does best, sharing his passion for helping students learn and succeed. It's all part of student success at Long Beach City College.
The department would like to thank Fred Rosmanik and Jerome Thomas from Media Productions and CC Sadler from Institutional Technology and Distance Learning for their help and work on the video. And although I know he despises the attention, I'd like to ask our own Mr. Scott Bruckner to stand for applause. Thank you, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions from members of the board or people on the dais?
I have a comment.
Yes, Trustee Zia.
I just wanted to thank you, Emily, for doing such a great job, our faculty. I mean, you guys are in the trenches on the day-to-day activities, and Scott, that was great. I had no idea. I'm going to go check it out. There's a couple I can definitely learn from, like learning how to listen. It's on at the top of my list. So thank you so much for the contribution that you are to our district and our students. Appreciate it.
Trustee Archuleta? I too want to commend you. Turn it on.
Oh, sorry. I want to commend you on the excellent work that you're doing, and I'm also very pleased to hear that you're going to get the support from Student Equity to continue supplemental instruction. I'm a total believer in supplemental instruction, so good work.
Trustee Baxter?
Yes, congratulations, Emily, and the people on the staff. I've had the pleasure of working with them for a number of years, and they're really dedicated. They care about the students. They bring up ideas, creative ideas. And Scott, I've been a fan of yours for years, so congratulations to you too.
Great. You know, it's not a very well-known fact that students come here sometimes with deficits in study skills and how to approach learning. And this kind of work that you're doing and that Scott's been doing for years really helps students understand how to learn. And it's the first steps in an education process, and we're grateful for the work that's been done historically and the work that's being done now to help students succeed. So thanks. Anybody else?
I would just like to ask those people here in the audience from the LAR department to stand, because it takes a whole department to make the difference, if you would, please.
Okay, any other questions or comments from members of the board?
Congratulations to Emily, who obviously got married. Yeah,
And then some.
obviously, because she has a new name.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Is that part of the learning, is getting married? I missed that video.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Okay, agenda item 3.2, Personnel Commission Annual Report.
Yes, Board President Otto, I will turn that over to Vice President Delgadio.
Thank you, President Oakley. As Myra gets the system back up, I'd like to just take note that as we have established in our Personnel Commission rules and regulations, we annually provide the board with an annual report of the commission's activities. And so tonight, I'd like to introduce Dr. Mona Hassan, our Director of Classified Human Resources, who will present the annual report. Mona, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I did want to say that I did recognize Scott Bruckner's, those things in the back of that picture, those are chalkboards, okay? When we had chalk. But good evening, Board of Trustees, President, Board of Trustee, President Ott, the board, and President Oakley, Vice President, staff, public, and any students that may be here tonight. As Ms. Delgadio indicated, we annually, pursuant to the rules and regulations and actually education code, one of the responsibilities of the Personnel Commission is to provide an annual report regarding the activities of the Personnel Commission. So real briefly, I'm going to go through it. The Personnel Commission received this on October 26th and approved it, and now we're sharing it with you. So we will scroll down. Perhaps we'll do it this way. Okay, so this is the annual report for the activities for 14-15. We made some changes to it to make it more, I guess, intimate and related to the college, and added some graphics to it. The first part of our report just gives us some statistics regarding the number of students that we serve and a little bit of the history of the college, which you could probably school me on, so you probably know more about that than I do, but you know, we were established in 1927. Then we go on to the table of contents. So these are the areas that our annual report will cover. And an introduction to the commissioners, our statement of ethics, and so forth. So let's go through this here. So do these people look familiar to you? These are our personnel commissioners. As you may know, we have 3 commissioners. One of them is appointed by the Board of Trustees, and that is Richard Gaylord, our current chairperson for the Personnel Commission. Then we have our second appointee, who's appointed by the by AFT, and that's Ms. Jacqueline Wilvers. And then we have our third appointee, which is our joint appointee, who was just recently appointed to a new 3-year term, and that's Ms. Janine McManigal-Ball, and she is a member. The report will include a brief bio on each of those commissioners, so you could read that at your leisure. Our Personnel Commission meetings are held on Mondays, so usually the day before your Board of Trustee meetings. And so we had ours last night, and we will follow your pattern of board meetings for the most part. They're open to the public. We follow the Brown Act, just as the Board of Trustees does. We do have a statement of ethics here, and I won't read that to you, but it's the things that are the right thing to do. Some of our beliefs is that, of course, we hire based on merit, not based on other influences. We have a fair and equitable process, and we, hold to that to make sure that we're ethical, and we're somewhat the conscience of the district when it comes to our hiring for classified personnel. The Merit System District, again, it was established back in at Long Beach in 1978, and we actually sort of have it here at the college because of Long Beach Unified School District was the the bigger organization that was a merit district. And when we separated from the Long Beach Unified School District, we also brought with us the merit system. And it's based on, hiring based, as I indicated earlier, on merit and paying classifications, so for like work, for like pay. And we really do a lot with classifications and so forth. Follow a lot of the best practices that any organization will do when it comes to hiring, whether or not you're a merit district or not. They're best practices. I'm the director of the Personnel Commission. I don't know if I introduced myself. I don't think I did. But I think Ms. Delgado did, Mona Hassan. And I'm somewhat new to the college, but I feel like I know a lot of people here already. But so one of my responsibilities, key responsibilities, is to administer the merit system and to present this report. We have our own budget, which thank you for adopting that a few months ago. And here is the really the core of the report here. The number of recruitments that we had in the 14-15 school year. We were real busy. I think it was 61 recruitments. As you can see by that list, it impacts almost every department in the college, and as a consequence, we impact student achievement. So we always make our connection to people and the job that HR and the Personnel Commission does to make sure that we have the people in place that ensure that our students are successful in their academic career. There we go. Our recruitment statistics will break it down into 13-14 and 14-15. Last year, in the 13-14 school year, we had 45 recruitments. That went up to 61 this last year, and we go with the fiscal year from July 1st, 2014 through June 30th, 2015. We had a lot of applicants, as you can see there, over 4,500 this year. And as a consequence, we hired 92 people this year, so we were really busy. Our HR team is not here tonight, but they're to be, acknowledged for their work there. We added a component to our report this year to acknowledge what the board acknowledged earlier in the spring, and these are our service awards for the longevity that we have in the district. And so that really concludes the report. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. Thank you for having me today. Any questions?
I have one.
Questions concerning the report about the Personnel Commission?
I have a
Trustee
few
Zia.
comments. Thank you, Mona. It was a great presentation. I love this last page. It was great. And I really want to commend you and your team. Also, the Personnel Commission, whom I don't think is any of them are here today, unfortunately. But one of the things that I noticed was great. I just want to especially thank the employees that have been with us for so long, and the ones that for 30 years. It's Johnny Camplin, Jonathan Ekman, and Roy Rubio. It's fascinating to see that. It's great to see their contribution, all of these folks, and their dedication. The question I have is on a little bit above about what you were speaking to as far as the applicants, increasing the number of applicants. Is there something that we did differently? I mean, it's a pretty big jump, and it seems, to me, it seems pretty impressive. It's increased by 50%. Are we doing anything unique in this effort? And then what do we have, like the percentage of how many candidates were internal, for example, limited, I think it's called temporary employment, if I'm not mistaken, LTEs that temporarily held the positions and made it a transition to the full-time. Do we have statistics on that?
We have statistics. That's not typically a part of this annual report, but we will be including more information as we evolve with this. We've added some information on this, but what we've done differently this year and why it increased by over 1,000 is we've expanded our recruitment efforts, and we're going to be continuing to do that. You'll have in front of you at the next meeting a proposal to expand even more with LinkedIn. It's what a lot of organizations are doing now, but we've expanded our recruitment. We've worked more closely with our hiring authorities to make sure that we're targeting the right populations. But as you can see, even though we have more recruitments and more applicants, we're also screening a lot more tightly to make sure that we have qualified applicants, employed in our district. So as you can see, 1,800 tested, which means that we screened tightly to make sure that we have a good final pool of applicants. But yes, we added a lot of, I don't think, some of them may not be added, but they weren't used as frequently, like Monster.com, and we weren't, there were some things that we noticed when I came on board that even though we have a system called NeoGov as an application system, our jobs were not on the big website, which is governmentjobs.com, where people look, and now they are. So we have more exposure. There are a lot of things. I could go on and on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. But
I have to tell you that I was very impressed when I checked out the different websites, and I really want to commend you and your team. It's fantastic. Our postings were everywhere. It would show up, and it's great what you're doing. So thank you. Keep it up.
Any other comments or questions at this time? Thank you very much, Dr. Hassan. Okay, agenda item 3.1, the staff diversity report. I'm sorry?
3.3.
Sorry, I'm up there in the corner. It's actually item 3.3.
Thank you, Board President Otto. Annually, we come to the board to talk about our diversity of our faculty and staff, and for that I have Vice President Delgadio. Before I hand it over to her, I'll just say that this is an issue that we have been paying quite a lot of attention to over the last several years, and I know that it was a question raised by the board, particularly with regard to faculty hiring and diversity. And as you'll see from the numbers, we have made some progress in recent hiring pools, but there is still a tremendous amount of progress that needs to be made. And so I'm hopeful that both the board, the Academic Senate, and the faculty unions will continue to support the hiring committees in the process to ensure that we increase the diversity of our faculty hires. And with that, I will turn it over to Vice President Delgadio.
Thank you, President Oakley. So here we go. This is our annual update. We're going to cover 3 different areas: our student profile, the hiring demographics, which includes our pools, and the initiative as it relates to our faculty internship program and where we are with that today. So moving right along, this is what our student population looks like today, spring 2015. There's been very little movement between today and what it was last year in 2014. The 2 main figures that have changed, Hispanic has gone up 2% more, and white went down 1%. Unknown went up 1%, so that's where you find the differential. But basically, we're seeing movement between the Hispanic population that continues to grow and the white population that continues to diminish. Not too unusual if you sit in the classrooms to understand that. So looking at demographics in terms of where we are today, starting with our management diversity, and this is a longitudinal overview, if you will, dating back to 2010, just to give you perspective for the last 5 years. So what we did was we wanted to give you an overview, particularly of 14-15, but we also wanted to bring you up to speed on where we are currently today in fall 2015, because our 14-15 year obviously ends on June 30th, 2015. So if we look at our total diversity today in management, we're at a total 53% today. And you can see that in 14-15 and then currently we hired a total of 27. The 22 plus 5 make 27 management team members. In 14-15, we were at 101 management team members, but we keep losing people. And we're now at 79 total. And just looking at those stats, what I recognize is that 30% of our, or 33% basically, of our management team members that we're losing are moving on to promotional opportunities outside of the district. Looking at our classified staff, you'll see that in 14-15 we were at 58%, and today fall we're at 59%. We have a total of 90-some employees that we hired in the classified ranks. And the other interesting figure there is to look at currently where we are in fall 2015. We have 440 classified support staff members. These are bargaining unit members. And we're basically back up to where we were before layoffs in 2010, 2011, if you'll take note. We're just short 8 people, but in terms of increasing the numbers, we have certainly done a good job of that, as Mona just showcased. HR has been doing a lot of work around hiring classified employees, and in fact, today we have an additional 25 vacancies that we're trying to fill, and that's as of today, and we're not done with this year yet.